million U.S. residents were affected by that data breach. I'm Janine Hurst, and you're listening to NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include the Katina Foundation, supporting the Asylum Seeker Advocacy Project, providing more than 100,000 asylum seekers in the U.S. with community and legal support. Learn more at asylum.news.
Find information about campaign finance, new legislative districts, and more on WMUK's primary election page. There are links to sample ballots by address and videos of candidate forms and statements. You can find information about polling locations, casting an absentee ballot, and election security. Find the primary election page at WMUK.org.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News. I'm Michelle Martin. It was yet another disturbing and illuminating week of hearings by the House Committee investigating the attempted coup on January 6th, as the committee detailed what former president did, or more accurately, did not do, to stop the mob he had summoned to the U.S. Capitol. Here's Vice Chair Liz Cheney questioning former White House counsel Pat Cipollone about the president's response to the violence at the Capitol.
So are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Secretary of Defense that day?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Attorney General of the United States that day?
No.
Are you aware of any phone call by the President of the United States to the Secretary of Homeland Security that day?
I'm not aware of that, no.
For many of those watching the hearings, the evidence of the former president's culpability seems obvious. But the committee itself doesn't have the ability to indict or try anyone. That power rests with the Department of Justice. And although some 800 people have been charged with crimes related to January 6th, the former president and his top advisors in the White House at the time have not faced any charges. And that's increasingly frustrating to activists, officials, and citizens who say the Justice Department, led by Attorney General Merrick Garland, is just not moving fast enough to deliver accountability for the assault on the nation's constitutional order. But as you might imagine, others say that's just not fair or realistic, given an investigation of this magnitude. So who's right? We're going to start today by laying out those two perspectives with two people who have had this debate in the pages of Lawfare. Ben Wittes is the editor-in-chief of Lawfare. He wrote a piece this week defending the Justice Department's approach. Mr. Wittes, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And Quinta Jurecic is a senior editor at Lawfare. She